Across Belize City and presumably other parts of the country, attendance by primary school students on the first day of classes for the new calendar year was rather poor. Despite a favorable turnout of teachers at several of the institutions we visited today, the number of young learners paled in comparison to their high school colleagues. In fact, while classes were cancelled at St. Luke Methodist this morning, dozens of students were seen pouring out of Palote High School's compound this afternoon at 3 o'clock. On the other side of town, the ratio of students to teachers at St. John Vianney RC School was low.
Of the teachers, we have 23 of our 30 teachers present today, and we have 139 students, which is about 22% of our student population that showed up today.
During an appearance on Channel 5's Open Your Eyes morning show earlier today, Belize National Teachers Union President Luke Palacio maintained that teachers and students under the education rules are justified in enjoying 3 weeks of vacation in December.
We are saying that our teachers and our students deserve to get their 3 weeks holiday. If the ministry had done the right thing, if the management had done the right thing to consult with the teachers and their representatives if they felt so, because our commitment was to making up the time. We were not granted an opportunity. We were not involved in the discussions. We were not invited to the discussions so that together we could have said, even if it is the way the ministry would have envisaged it, at least there would have been that participation. And I think we would not be at this juncture where we are today. So our position remains that we are to be on holiday until the 9th of January.
That crisis once again involves a stalemate between the B.N.T.U and the Ministry of Education, with managing authorities purportedly taking a backseat to the standoff. Here at All Saints School, classes will not resume until Wednesday. Teachers, however, are using the additional time constructively.
Today, we have scheduled, as was informed to the parents in December of last year, a workshop where teachers are partaking in more of a mediation session as we progress into the new calendar year. And so we've asked and informed parents that the teachers needed this day to do that workshop. And so tomorrow we are scheduled to have students come back to school.
That show of students, like the gathering at St. John Vianney, will perhaps be indicative of the overall attendance for the remainder of the week.
From today's attendance, we got 139 this morning, and this afternoon that fell by some, maybe 20 or 30. So it is too early to say if it will be the trend for the next 3 remaining days.
Share with me what may very well be a collective philosophical position, if I may, held by the teachers here at St. John Vianney with regards to what's currently going on.
Well, the one that I have spoken to, the ones who are here, are of the view that it is time to get on and do the business of education. They are of the view that a lot have been accomplished in the 11-day strike. There are a number of initiatives that are directly related to the strike, and in their opinion, it was a win for Belize and for the union, and it is time to get back to work.
The representative body for a majority of primary school teachers maintains that its position is lawful and reasonable.
We are right, the rules are there, and the more essential thing that must be borne in mind is that if somebody takes you off your vacation, they are to compensate you. The labor laws are clear. We should be on holiday. Why are you forcing us to come back to work, granting compensation for whatever reason because the salaries were not docked? And so if it means that we have to go back to court to get an interpretation on this matter, because you would not take anybody, be it a public officer, be it even somebody at your house, a domestic that you employ. If the labor law says that that person should get 2 weeks vacation, you bring in that person before those 2 weeks are over, you must compensate the person.
At All Saints School, the principal says her staff remains committed to the education of their students.
As a staff here at All Saints, our teachers are quite committed, and so they know their responsibilities as educators, and I'm trusting that based on that knowledge, they're going to be acting tomorrow.
What are your thoughts as a principal on the idea of making up time for the 11 days that were lost to strike action in October?
Well, making up the time was really not an issue for us because before the strike took place in October, we were giving more than what we had scheduled for in terms of our timetable, where we started classes at 8, we ended half an hour later.
At St. Martin's de Porres School this afternoon, the number of students showing up for classes waned considerably, from 55 this morning to 18, while the complement of 27 teachers was only short by 7. Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.